Shit. Oh, let me switch to Zoom. I want to see if I can probably set up a monitor. Recording. Or that, so we can see like the chat or something. Oh, all right. Let me pull up the tube. Shout out to everybody in here early. Cool. Oh. Oh, I gotta fix one more thing. Say something, Sean.
Mic check. One,
Gotcha,
two.
gotcha.
You got me?
Let's get this party started. All right. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inge. Joining me on the show, we got Shelton J.
What's happening, fellas? How y'all doing?
What it do, man?
Chilling, bro.
Happy 10th year anniversary.
Yes, sir.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. I'm that's FIFA 27, by the way, for anybody that's new. But yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Shout out to Miguel. Appreciate the you coming through to the stream yesterday also. Um, but yeah, it was. I'm dragging today, man. I'm dragging. We had the 10th
Long night,
anniversary.
man.
Yep, we had to do the Madden draft that night too. So that was like at 11, and then so I didn't get in. I didn't actually go to sleep until about 3:30.
Me a little bit later than that.
Who
Wow.
you? Damn.
And for those of you in the chat that have not seen it yet, go back and take a look at the 10th year anniversary show on Dead in Hip Hop's channel. It's dope. And like I said, I just showed a great appreciation for what y'all have built and have done over your time. It's dope. I admire you. I look up to you, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Homie. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So we would have been a little earlier, man, but Nick didn't tell us he wasn't actually gonna be on the show tonight, so it's his fault. Since he ain't here, I'm gonna blame him.
So short show. First and foremost, it's gonna be a short show. We not rocking with 3 people for 2 hours, bro. We not or an hour.
Yeah, it'd be
We're not
crazy.
doing that. We're not doing that, bro.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if that even happened. But yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Let
Hey, man.
people can say something crazy. That's all.
Hey, yeah, Miguel, 10:15, man. I said that was my bedtime, but I stuck it in there with y'all for a little bit. Anyway, man, we thank you guys for coming through. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. To go ahead and send the algorithm through the roof. Let people know that we're here, and we'll go ahead and get started with the show. So prior to coming out here, we were back there watching the Sixers and not the Hornets, the Mavericks play. So yeah, Sixers looking good, man. Sixers are looking good. But one of the things when I was looking at the show and trying to put something together, um, I came across Kyrie making some comments about the NBA logo. And I thought it was interesting, mainly because I think was it B? Didn't B say something about that the other day? I think we were off air when you guys were talking about it. But yeah, he said that they should change the logo, and I believe he said that they should change it to Kobe Bryant.
Mm.
So, what do you guys think about that? I do believe it's time to change the logo. It's been long overdue. But if not Kobe, who do you guys think they should change it to?
MJ. And
That's
maybe not. And you know the NBA now has a partnership, a brand deal with Nike. So pretty much all official NBA merchandise is Nike. So I think that at this point it makes the most sense to just transition the logo to the Jumpman.
Mm.
Because let's be
And
honest, man.
that's a picture of. I don't know if that's what it would look like, but
Yeah.
yeah.
If it's Kobe, I'm cool with that. Obviously, honoring the memory of one of the greatest players to ever live. I'm cool with that. I wouldn't be opposed. But if we're talking about impact and the reason why the game is where it's at, there's only one. Look. Remember when Scottie Pippen did like this? Come on, man. Like it's bro, he still sells billions in shoes. Like no, like his impact in the sport of basketball will never, ever, ever, ever be eclipsed. It will not.
that is, that's true. Um, the only reason I don't support it being a jump man is because I think Kobe would be a better choice because of what he does, and from my understanding, that's the same way Kyrie feels is for what he's done off the court as well as on the court. And Jordan's impact in the game has been tremendous, but he still represents a brand. And if you go away from Nike, say they go back to Adidas, and you got the Jordan logo on there, it won't rock right. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a thing where Kobe, I think, would be a better choice for the logo for what he's meant to the game on off the court, what he's meant to people's lives as far as how he's impacted them. I just think it's just a better choice.
I,
Should it be changed? Kyrie said something. He said, and I'm paraphrasing this. He said the game was built on the back of black kings.
Black King. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Black Kings built this league.
Yeah, and you couldn't put it any more clear than that. No disrespect to Jerry West because he was a great player, but when I think of basketball, I don't think of Jerry West. I don't think anybody that's watching the game now really does. I don't think they really ever did. And even though they don't come out and officially say that's Jerry West, we all know who it is.
yeah.
So I think to move it to Kobe would just make sense at this time.
Shelton, I agree. Like I said, like if it's Kobe, I'm not. Come on, man. I'm not gonna argue that. You know what I'm saying? Kobe was super influential off and on the court, but let's be real. Nobody in the history of the league has been more influential off the court than LeBron. And then second would be MJ. I think even more than Kobe. And then on the court, the most influential person has been MJ.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at all of the greats, even now, they were all influenced by MJ. KD was influenced by MJ. Jordan was. All of these
Mm.
guys. Obviously, Steph was because his dad played against MJ. You know what I'm saying? I think that all of it, and then let's be honest, like the like without MJ, there would be no Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
There just wouldn't be. So again, Kobe's not here, and I think it'll be the greatest way to honor one of the when he passed, he was the only NBA MVP outside of Wilt Chamberlain not to be alive. So that says a lot. So again, in commemorating the life of Kobe, that's the best move. That's the best PR move that the NBA can do. If we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at it from an influence standpoint, then I don't know how jump to jump man.
See, that's the thing, though. I think it's the way I'm looking at it, and the way I think the NBA would look at it is more from a branding standpoint. Jordan is already a brand, so to put him, even though now we talk about accolades, we talk about influence and impact. There's none greater. So there's no question about who's the greatest. But when we talk about a logo for a league and creating, from a business standpoint, you can't use a logo that's already a logo and already a established brand in Jordan. So you got to get something that represents the NBA as a whole and their brand, which you want to be separate from Nike and the Jordan brand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason I say Kobe over Jordan. Other than that, I mean, if we just talking strictly, you know, what player to player, Jordan, nobody touches Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk branding, which is huge, nobody tops the league. So you can't really, you know what I'm saying? You can't put something above the league.
I wonder if that's why they haven't changed it to Jordan. Just what you're talking about, the fact that he's with Nike, has his own brand. Everybody know what that logo actually is. It's not the NBA. It's MJ.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I wonder if that has been like an issue with, because I don't even know how often this really come up or has came up. I know it's something that people talk about in the barbershop, and we talk
Mm-hmm.
about among each other. But I think while I think I like what Kyrie is putting out there, um, and trying to actually kind of reshape and mold the league in the image that it is. But I think it's long overdue, for the NBA logo to actually change. Um, I'm torn. I get Kobe. I get what it would mean to the NBA. I think because of his issues in Colorado, you're gonna have some outrage, but that's gonna happen one way or the other. Um, but I think I just think MJ is the one that sent this thing over the top, and he is the one that kind of shaped and molded the NBA to what it is today. Like FIFO said, without MJ, there's no Kobe without MJ. But given
Mm-hmm.
the business reasons, I understand why they would go with Kobe. So I don't know if you can necessarily go wrong. But my preference would be MJ, even though I didn't like him growing up. But
I think that I was looking too, and it said how many people have signed that petition that they started? Like three
change.org.
point. Yeah, I think it's like 3.2 million already. So it's making
Whoa,
waves. Yeah,
Well,
and
to change the
it
NBA logo or
yes
okay.
to change the logo.
that's almost
The
as many people that watch the NBA on a nightly basis.
Mm-hmm.
I think they average
and
around. Yeah, go ahead.
right, and I was just gonna say, and if they don't change it now, they're gonna wait till LeBron retires, and then they could possibly make it LeBron. That's
What
like I
does
said,
that logo look like? A missed
That
free throw?
that's
why see come on man I thought we left disrespect at home man I thought the disrespect was at the crib bruh.
oh
But
man,
nah LeBron had an early logo where it was just kind of like that this dunk
Oh
and his legs
yeah.
was up kind of like that, so I could see something like that. I think Shelton, you make a good point with the branding perspective. I didn't want to necessarily gloss over that. You're 100% right because it's an entity onto itself. Like it wasn't created for the NBA, so it's already a thing that generates billions of dollars. So I don't know how that works. But I definitely think you got a valid argument there. They just may have to, do like a fadeaway or something.
What about
yeah,
somebody? Who said that?
the
Miguel.
Wizards, the Wizards, MJ.
Nah, not that one, not that one, not that one.
What about the cream skyhook? That's what Miguel said in the chat.
No, only because Kareem doesn't really represent the league. And not saying that he wasn't great or influential. It just the league isn't where it's at because of Kareem. Kareem didn't really have much to do with that.
Mm, okay.
Yeah,
Um, I want to jump to the Celtics, man, because they've been struggling. And I saw this article,
Mm-hmm.
and it said Ainge basically it was asking whether or not Ainge should use the trade with player exception, 28.5 million trade player exception to basically add more talent to Tatum and Jordan and
So they have
Jalen
a
Brown.
trade exception.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They call it a TPE. So they like to change stuff when these people
Oh,
write stuff. So I
okay.
don't know what that means. But anyway, what I thought was interesting because there's a lot of backlash starting to build up for Brad Stevens now,
He
and
hasn't been able to get him over the hump, and
he hasn't.
he's had talent.
And they're
yeah,
500 this year. And then I was just looking through some of the issues that, well, basically the position that they're in now, and it says that these are the complicating matters that they're facing. The hard cap because of Tristan Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
the luxury tax,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the seller's market, meaning that they're what is it? there's a lot of teams hovering around 500, the play-in tournament.
Right.
So there are few teams that are willing to kind of sell. I believe. And then, but the
Right.
thing that caught me the most, really caught my eye, was lack of trade assets. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, their treasure trove of future draft assets are empty,
Yeah, it's done now.
and that makes it harder for them to make a move. And they don't really have young talent like that.
Mm-mm.
So
They have young talent. They're just they want the young talent that they drafted. Like they're untradeable. So see, this is the quandary that you find yourself in when you continuously make moves for the future. Is that the future becomes the present, and in the present, what are you gonna do?
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that Danny Ainge has done a pretty damn good job of maneuvering. And I think the biggest question mark I would have to say right now is Kemba Walker. Because when you make that move for a Kemba Walker, that's one thing you don't even have to worry about. Okay, we're going to get 20 to 25 a game. Big shot Kemba. Let's make sure that we bring on the other young talents, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, that are able to coexist with Kemba. And then, we'll fill in the gaps. Because think about how many draft picks they had, them and Philly, right? Like
Yeah.
both of those two squad. You're not going to hit on 80% of those draft picks. If you have 10,
Mhm.
you're going to hit on maybe one or two.
How many do you think they hit on?
Who?
Boston.
Celtics? Two.
Celtics,
Two.
2.
Yeah,
Philly. How many they hit on? You think?
two.
Now
Different
Philly hit on a
process,
couple.
Different process,
but
but you
still.
got the same
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
the
All right.
same result. So I just think that Boston, what's hurting them is Kemba. If Kemba was the Kemba we know, they wouldn't be 500. Jalen maybe not wouldn't be averaging 25, 26 a game how he's doing. Both him and Tatum are both top 15 scorers in the NBA.
Mm.
Maybe one of them isn't there, but this team would be a lot better off with that third guy, and they don't have it. And I think that's their main issue. And I haven't watched a lot of Boston, but when I do watch Boston play, it's a two-man show. And the two guys that are the best guys on the squad, they haven't accomplished anything in the
Mhm.
league. They're still establishing themselves. So even though they know what it takes to win because they've been in a winning organization, right? Like they've won since they got into the league. They've been to the playoffs every year since they gotten into the league. But the pressure was not on them. The onus was not on. We're making it because of you. They added and they stepped up in moments, but overall, Kemba's the main issue. Number two, the two youngins, this is the first year that it's really on them. And then they don't Marcus Smart being hurt really hurts them
Yeah, that's
because
hurting
he's
them
their
now.
Yeah.
version of Draymond Green. Like this dude, he's 6'3", but sometimes he guarded centers. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things that are the reason why Boston is where they are.
I'm gonna hand it to you, Shelton. I just want to read this one thing.
Yeah.
It's incredible that they're 15 and 17 right now, but they said that, and this was the CEO of Boston said that the Kyrie trade really kind of threw off their plans.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I thought that was interesting. Go ahead, Shelton.
I was going to mention that too. I think the Kyrie situation, I was going to say the same thing. It kind of screwed things up for them. I think they thought it would work out a lot better than it did, but they should have stayed on the path that they were on. I didn't like the fact that Avery Bradley and pieces like Avery Bradley, Enes Kanter, Al Horford, those were nice pieces to the puzzle that Boston had. That when they let them go, they didn't replace those people, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Cantor added toughness, Bradley added toughness and defense and leadership, and you let that go without replacing it with solid players behind it. Charlotte also came out like fat rats when they traded away Kimber. They got out from under Kimber at the right time. When he was in Charlotte, they could not win with him, even though he was the star of that team. It just wasn't a winning situation. It wasn't a win situation for them. So to not have to pay him and to let him go at a time when he's just starting to break down, it was the perfect time for them. I was kind of lukewarm on the Terry Rozier thing. I'm warming up to it a little bit more now. I think he's solid. I think that at the time I didn't mind that them paying him like that, but still to get out from under Kimba to get a youngin like Terry Rozier, it just made more sense. But Boston has made one mistake. tried to cover it up with another mistake, and then tried to cover that up with something else. And it's just, the moves just aren't working at this point. It's not working with Brad Stevens. I don't know what the next move is. I think, in my opinion, they should clean house and rebuild around the 2 stars again and just try to put it back together.
I agree with you, Shelton. And
Really?
I think it's time for Ainge to go again. Not because he's done a bad job. Yeah, not because he's done a bad job, but it's, and I don't even want to say a mismanagement, but it's like Shelton said, like they made moves that made sense, but they didn't necessarily cover their ass with it as well. You know what I'm saying? Like they made moves and didn't replenish the trove. And I think that is starting to come back and biting them in the butt, because now, you move on from Al Horford, but you bring in Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
For winning basketball, and I like Tristan Thompson, but the way that they're constructed, they need more guys that are going to be more fluid with the ball. Meaning, okay, your head coach, Brad Stevens, pace and space type of coach, wants the ball move. He doesn't want the ball stuck with people, right? What is Tristan? Tristan's a black hole. What does Tristan do with the ball? Tristan doesn't play with the ball.
Right.
That's an issue. Al Horford fit that system better. You know what I'm saying? So you get rid of Al Horford, bringing in Tristan Thompson, but then it's kind of like you're telling Brad Stevens to cook with that, and it's like, bro, all I'm gonna have him do is grab rebound and set picks, which is championship teams need that, but the way that they're constructed or the way that they want to play, he doesn't technically fit. And they have a lot of guys like that.
Yeah, they've been drafting a lot of Tristan Thompson type guys.
You know what?
Robert Williams. Just a lot of random guys.
Random guys with random numbers, which is Boston, but still, it's just. I'm like, they'll throw somebody in number 96 and just put him out. I'm like, who's this guy? Like, what does he do?
They think this Payton Pritchard guy can play, and from what I've seen, I've watched him play. I like him.
Yeah, I do too.
I actually like him.
I liked him in college at where was he at? It wasn't Oregon.
I can't tell you.
Baylor. It was a green school. I think it was Oregon was where Pritchard came from. But I remember watching him in college, and I liked him then, and I like him in the pros. I like what he does. It's just a matter of getting him, he's not ready where those guys are. You know what I'm saying? He's not ready to be that third player. And they really just need Kemba to step up. But injuries and other things, I think Kemba has some lingering things going on with him. And when you're that small and your legs ain't there, you really don't have no game. And I think that's starting to show more now than ever.
So, Ken, I pulled up the Celtics draft history. I'm going to go back to 2012. What was that, 9 years, almost a decade, right? So, in 2012, I'm going to just do first-round picks. At number 6 or number 21, they took Jared Sullinger. Fab Melo at number 22. Yeah, drafting at where they were drafting, Jared Sullinger was very solid.
No, he had a nice
little run.
Yeah.
Yep. In 2013, they took Lucas Nogueira at number 16, so right outside of the lottery. In 2014, they took James Young at number 17, and they took Marcus Smart at number 6. James Young, what did he become? Out the league before the
I
contract.
thought he was nice in Kentucky. I thought James Young was going to be okay because he could shoot, but it just didn't work out.
In 2015, they took Terry Rozier and R.J. Hunter. I thought R.J. Hunter was going to be nice because
I did too.
Nice shooter. I thought he was going to develop. But obviously, we know Terry Rozier got his paper, so he's going to stay around for a little while.
RJ came from a small school, and he was a big fish in a small pond. I just don't think he adjusted to the NBA game.
No,
I hate that though. I rooted for him though. I hate it.
Me too. Me too.
Coming from Georgia State, I really rooted for RJ.
So Ken and Shelton, in 2016, the Celtics had 5 second-round picks. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they had 5 second-round picks and 3 first-round picks. In the first round in 2016, number 3, they took Jaylen Brown. At number 16, they took Gershon Yabusele. And at number 23, they took Ante Zizic.
I remember Zizic. Where is he at?
Isn't that
he probably I think he's
isn't that the one with the Clippers?
Yeah. No, that's Zubac.
Zubac, you're right.
Zizic, I think, ended up playing with LeBron at some point. or went to the
Yeah. He
Cavs.
went to the yeah.
Yep.
You're right. But now he's out. He's out the league now. All right. So in
Mm-hmm.
2017, they had one first round pick, number 3, Jason Tatum. In
Brilliant choice.
2018, they had only one first round pick at number 27, Robert Williams. Don't even know if he's still in the league.
He is.
He's in the league. He's still on the team. He's a
Okay.
rebounder and athlete, but he still should be more developed than where he is. He still
Okay.
plays like a rookie.
In 2019, they had 3 first round picks.
Mm.
Romeo Langford at number 14, Matisse
Mhm.
Thybulle that got traded to Philly at number
Yes.
20, and then at number 22, Grant Williams.
Who was basically like Robert, if I remember him correctly, like Robert Williams.
Yep. And then
He's undersized. He's an undersized power forward. And they got Carson Edwards from Philly, who I like, but once again, same thing. He was an undersized shooting guard that has not developed yet. They just
yeah, and then in 2020 they had 3 first round picks. At number 14, Aaron Nesmith. At number 26, Peyton Pritchard. At number 30, Desmond Bain. Forward, point guard, shooting guard in that order. So when you look at it, they had a hell of a lot of picks.
They did.
The only 2 picks that were in the top 5, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. The one that was closest to the top 5, Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a whole bunch of picks, but they didn't hit on their later picks. They just didn't.
Right.
And then, like to me, when you watch what's his name? Who's over Jerry West. When you watch his moves, right? The trades that he makes, the players that he acquires. Also, what Golden State is doing. They drafted Draymond's replacement already in Pascal. He's not the playmaker Draymond is, but everything else Draymond does, he does, and he's a better shooter than Draymond. So it's kind of like the conveyor belt system. Okay, we got this guy. Who's another guy that can play with this guy, or our main guy can mentor to be better, to develop them? And who does Boston have?
So let me ask you this: is it that we know that they didn't hit based on the results, but could it be that they can't develop players?
that's what I was gonna say, Ken. It's probably 60-40. They cannot develop first because some of those guys, I think, if they were in other situations, would have come out better. Carson, when Philly selected Edwards from Purdue, I was really happy because I love that kid at Purdue. I saw some crazy things, and I thought him in the lineup next to Ben Simmons would have been a nice little fit because he could score. That dude could score the basketball on anybody. And in Boston, it's just nothing. Same thing with Robert Williams. I saw him, he was super athletic, and I just saw a guy that in the league, he should be averaging 10, 11 rebounds a game, and it's just not happening. So I think it is talent development at this point.
I think that's a big part. Like Shelton says, 60-40. I don't know if I'll give it that percentage breakdown, but it is a lot of talent development, and then part of talent development is drafting the right player for the right system. It is having opportunities for these guys like Yabusele, right? I really like him. Every time he gets on the court, he's a spark. Why doesn't he get more minutes?
Well, he's in Philly though.
Well, now, but I'm just saying he was drafted by Boston, and he started to make his name there. You know what I'm saying? You look at Taco Fall.
Y'all high on him. Y'all higher on him than I am.
Well, here's the thing. So I
he looks bad when he's on the court.
He looks bad in terms of lateral quickness.
Okay, I'll give you that.
He looks bad in terms of lateral quickness. When they put him in pick and roll situations, it's bad. It's bad. And obviously the majority of the NBA is like that. However, when you allow him to just kind of linger around the basket, you can't shoot over him. Look at how many rebounds and blocks he gets in the little bit of minutes that he plays. And then look at on the offensive side, when he runs pick and roll and he rolls, he could dunk without jumping. How many players? There's nobody else in the league that can do. I think Boban can touch the rim without jumping. Maybe Joel Embiid. Maybe Joker. After that, who else? There's nobody. And Taco is relatively athletic for his size. And I'm not saying, oh, go get this man 25 minutes a game. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that you should be trying to develop him in game. The G League ain't going to do it. It's too easy. And you look at the man's numbers in G League, it's just like when Bobo went to the G League. You
Mhm.
saw the numbers he put up? Too easy. You got to develop him in NBA competition. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Well, all that being said, all of this stuff that we talking about. That's why I'm saying clean house. Just start over. There are a lot of worthy GM candidates out there. There are a lot of worthy black head coaches out there. That I think that need to turn this franchise in a different direction because they done hit a stalemate. That
Yeah.
they're in place, and that's it. They're gonna be a decent team because you got two uber talented wings,
Mhm.
two-way wings. Outside of that, what else you got to show?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Go. You got something?
I was just gonna add. Somebody put in the chat about Jameson Crowder too. They had a lot of toughness that they let go of, and that's something that, like I said, they Marcus Smart is definitely one of those players, but they had multiple tough guys that they kind of let go of, and I hate that they did that for that organization because that kind of helped them along. And like you say, when you get rid of something, you got to replace it with something. And that Draymond example, FIFA, was a great one because um, Pascal's about the same thing. He really is,
Same
and
guy.
he's learning from Draymond, and he's doing some things that Draymond can't do. So you got to do that. And they just ain't done it. So I think it's definitely time for Brad to go, and Ainge should be right behind him.
I think Ainge first.
Mm.
I think Ainge first.
We'll revisit this because I have thoughts. But shout out to Devin Booker. I think you guys mentioned that one of you guys, D. Shelton, that he would get in with AD being hurt. That has happened. He's all-star now. So he kind of backdoored his way in. But he's in there. Couple of other quick storylines I want to hit before we get out of here. DeMarcus Cousins is out now. He's free.
That's crazy.
He wants to start though, so I don't know if the Lakers will be a good fit.
Yes. Yes.
As a starter,
or resounding yes, because
you think they would make him start?
Yes, Marc Gasol's not a starter no more. Bro, every time I watch the Lakers play, now here's the thing.
I would like him on the Lakers. I just wonder if Vogel, if that position is up for grabs.
I think that this is one of those things.
It should
100%. I think this is one of those situations where LeBron and AD be like, "Yo, Frank, we gonna get this guy. He gonna start. You got a problem with that?" And that's it. And that's it, bro. That's it. Because when I watch Marc Gasol play, Marc Gasol is gonna be instrumental in the playoffs for them. But night in, night out, traveling, different types of big men, different types of teams, like he ain't got it like that no more.
Mm-mm.
But when you can say, okay, we're gonna play this team at least 4 times at minimum, or at minimum, and this is all we got to do, and there's gonna be certain series he may not be able to play.
Kind of like what they did with Dwight Howard last year.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like if they play against if they play against Golden State in the playoffs, Marc Gasol not touching the court. Who he gonna guard? He can't guard Draymond. Draymond gonna run past him. He gonna guard Wiseman. Wiseman gonna run right past him. He can't. There's nobody on that Golden State Warrior team that you can match up with Marc Gasol. It's not an advantage toward the Lakers. So certain situations, Marc Gasol may not even play. So in my opinion, you go get a DeMarcus Cousins. And remember, I was real high on him at the beginning of the season with Houston because what I saw was flashes. Not saying, oh, Boogie's all the way back, but shit, Boogie still got the touch. Boogie still got that thing that Zach Randolph had, that he don't jump but 2 inches up off the ground, but he get every damn rebound. Like he's just a magnet for the ball. And he's a big ass he just moves people. You know what I'm saying? And then he plays complementary basketball because he is an underrated passer. He is an underrated shooter for a big man.
Which is one of Gasol's attributes. One of his best attributes is his ability to pass. Yep.
Exactly. Right. So that's why Gasol looks good in moments, but then you put him on defense, what the hell is going on? And I'm not saying that Boogie is going to be any better, like leaps and bounds better, but the main difference is he's still an active rebounder. Gasol don't really want to smoke like that during the regular season. In the playoffs, he'll go bang that big ass body down there because he want to win championships. But where he's at right now, nah. And I think Boogie is still in a position where he wants to prove. I still think I think he knows that that max contract is long gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he is a 12 to $15 million player if healthy. He gotta prove it. I think this will be an opportunity to prove that.
Right. And if nothing else, those guys will probably want him there. You know what I'm saying? AD would love playing with him again.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it too. Being places where you want to be with people you want to be with, that's more energy. And like you said, the Lakers were brilliant last year and using those centers where they had like three-headed center, and they would use them in the positions where it made most sense instead of using them all the time. This player played tonight, that person can play tomorrow night, but it worked. So I think it will work again with Cousins. I really do. I just think the AD just needs another body to protect the basket for him, and I think it'll work. I think it just will look good for the Lakers. I hope they don't have to get him because I don't want the Lakers to win, but it's possible.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good move.
And here's the thing too, Kat. Even if they get Boogie, I still think they need to go grab another center. I think they need to get a center that's completely opposite of Boogie and Mark Gasol. Because Boogie right now is just a younger version of what Mark Gasol was. But they need an athletic guy that can run and jump too. Because in the league now, man, there's so many variations of the big man. And I think that if your big man isn't one of your top two or three players on your roster, then you need a center by committee because you need to be able to match up with some of these guys in the league. Because Joker, bro, like Joker is gonna demolish Marcus Gasol.
Do you bring back a JaVale McGee maybe?
Yes, and that's what I mean. An athletic, long, you know what I'm saying, long type center. I know the Mavericks are going to be very active in the trade market and things like that. Not saying that this is a target that they should go after, just depending, right? If he's in the buyout market, of course, this, that, and the third, but a Willie Cauley-Stein, in addition to a Boogie Cousins. Just an athletic big. He ain't got to be nice. He ain't got to be talented. Just be able to set picks, rim run, change shot. He ain't got block shots. Change shots, get rebounds. If you can do that in addition to getting a Boogie Cousins, I like that for the Lakers.
Well, they getting smashed right now, so they need a lot of help.
Bron tired, bro.
He is, but I think one of you guys pointed out that I think it was Manny that not having Dennis Schroeder does make a difference.
It does hurt because you know what? It puts all the pressure on LeBron again to be everything. And when Dennis is out there, when AD is out there, it allows LeBron to just be like, okay, I could take a couple possessions. I could be a finisher instead of the offense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's over those days. Those Cleveland days, he's done with that shit. Yeah, you can see it. And KCP ain't doing shit.
It's too much. Man. Look, man, this man been in the league 18 years. What am I, 36, going to be 37? So he the same age. He's 36, just turned 36 in December, about to be 37. And he's playing the third most minutes in the league. That's a problem. And the Lakers need to figure it out. The Lakers need to figure it out. They need to be able to rest LeBron more, or else he's not going to have nothing for the playoffs. And I think, you know what, Ken? I think this may be the first time where LeBron may look human in the playoffs. If they don't get this minutes thing under control.
Yeah.
Right.
Say what?
I was just gonna say it in my guy Kuzma still is not helping. Last night he had 5 points. He came off the bench. He didn't even start. He played 25 minutes and had 5 points. And he's not picking up the slack from either one of those two guys. And I would expect it from him. They started Morris last night, but I would expect him once again to be the one to step in and give you at least 20 points in the game, period, without AD and Schroeder.
But see, this is why I said earlier in the season, when they re-signed Kuzma to that extension, it was for this situation. You can move Kuzma because Kuzma still has value. He's still young. I'm a salesman. Shelton's a salesman. I can sell you that Kuzma just doesn't fit with the Lakers. He needs a team where he can be the second guy or maybe even the first guy, depending on where you trade him. You can sell that, right? And now the money makes sense. You couldn't trade Kuzma on that rookie deal. What the hell were you going to get back? Like veteran minimums? No. His value is a lot higher. Now that he signed that extension, now you could tie that money. You could get something, maybe not as valuable, maybe not as nice. Maybe it's just a rental. but you can get something back now in return for moving on from Kuzma. And I definitely think the Lakers need to explore that because Kuzma is not giving them the value that they need right now. And this is the prime opportunity. Bron is
Right.
tired as hell and old. AD's hurt. You know what I'm saying? Mark Gasol looked like an old ass dude. You know what I'm saying? What like, okay, Kuz, this is your time. If you take 30 shots in a game, outside
But
of
they all played like shit last night against the Jazz.
They all did.
So
They all did.
I don't want to use that because I've
but how
seen.
long has AD been out?
I know, but I've seen him play better and closer games.
But consistency.
He's-
What year is it for Kuz?
3? Is it year 3? Yeah.
So he's at that beginning phase of that
What-
proverbial like building himself up. So he has, and I'm not saying like in year 3, like you have to become the most consistent version of who you are, but you even in a bad game you can't score 5.
Well, either way, I wasn't looking at Kuzma for his scoring this year anyway. That wasn't what I ever argued when we talked about Kuzma. It was about everything else
The
that he was
fit.
doing. Yeah, everything
the
else he was
fit.
doing, the intangible stuff. So
But he don't fit.
But see now, like I said, even if that's the case, Ken, now it needs to be about scoring because that's what they need and that's what he can do. That's his strength. Kuzma can put the ball in the basket, and if he's not doing it at all in the times when they need it most, then what purpose does he have there? I would love to see him in a Dallas uniform. You know what I'm saying? A place like that where he can play off the ball and get some nice passes from a good point guard, and it's freedom there. There's mobility there. There's no pressure. That's the type of situation he would thrive in. I think he would get you 17 a night and be fine. 17 to 19 a night and be fine. But he needs to leave LA at this point. It's a wrap.
Yeah, he's only scored in single digits, even though this still may be unacceptable to y'all. But in the last 12 games, 3 times, with last night being the most recent. So, but yeah, he's had 14, 23, 16, 7, 19, 20, 15. I think this may have been around when I can't remember when AD went down, but on February 8th, 11, 14, 11, 5, and 11.
It's been about 10 games since he's been down.
Yeah, so
They're 5-5 without him on a 4-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm. So, but yep. Anyway,
You got the super chat?
Oh no, I didn't see it. You got it?
Yeah, we got the super chat from Chill Vibes. Hey, we appreciate you as always, Chill Vibes 24. I've seen many interviews where Dame says he doesn't believe in super teams and will finish his career in Portland. Can you ever see a top tier player come and join him? What will Dame's legacy be?
No. I do not see anybody going to play with Dame.
Why do you say that?
Because it's Portland, and I don't think it's
Portland.
Yeah, it's no. I don't think it's an attraction for a lot of players.
That's a beautiful city, though, and I don't. I mean, it's not a big market, but it's just a beautiful place to be. If I wasn't from the East Coast, I would definitely want to live in Portland. And to play with a killer like Dame, it would make sense to do. But I just, like you said, Ken, I just don't see anybody making that move to go out there. That's a top tier free agent at that. But I would, you know what I'm saying? If I was one of those guys, I think I would want to be there, especially if I was a big. I would want to play with him and CJ if CJ could get healthy. I think that'd be nice, and you could win a couple chips down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Dame Lillard's legacy is going to be amongst one of the elite guards to ever play the game. Arguably the most clutch guard, not named Michael Jordan, to play the game.
Period.
I think he'll get all of those accolades. But here's the thing, too. I think we're living in an era that no matter how great you are for one organization, organizations are going to move on from you. I think I take that back. I think the only player that's playing right now that I can see retiring in the same city he started in is Steph Curry. That's the only one. Everybody else, at some point in time, I think the organization is going to move on from them, including Dame Lillard. But I think in his prime, is somebody else going to join him like via free agency? I don't see it, but not because that they don't want to play with them. They don't have the salary cap to sign somebody like that. So I think it's going to be on the organization to make moves. They're going to have to move on from CJ. They're going to have to move on from Nurkic. They're going to have to move on from some of these other guys to bring a top tier guy that may be disgruntled. So Bradley Beal, You know what I'm saying? Somebody like that, which is I would say about maybe a level above what CJ is. But again, does that put him in championship contention? No. Like I think you're almost back to square one again. So I think it's gonna be a very interesting career for Dame. But I think the longer he stays there in his prime, it's gonna be very much like KG. He's not gonna win.
Cool. Appreciate the super chat. Want to jump into one, maybe two potential other topics before we get out of here. We're trying to get out of here probably in the next 10, 15 minutes max. Trade market. And the one that caught my eye was Kyle Lowry is on the market, and there are 3 teams that are rumored to be looking at him: the Clippers, the Heat, and the Sixers. Now, according to Keith Pompey of the Philadelphia Inquirer, he said that Kyle would actually like to be in Philly, and that the Raptors want to reward Lowry for his years of service by helping him secure an opportunity to win another title. Shelton, what do you think about Lowry coming to play for the Sixers?
I think that'll be big. They need some more help on the offensive end. I'm watching the team, and they play good. They look good. It's just that there's times when Joel Embiid, he's having to do a little bit too much. I was watching him on a play in this particular game just now, and they were coming down on the break, and they kicked it ahead to Danny Green, and he just immediately looked like, I don't know what to do with the ball. I can't shoot a jumper, so I need to get rid of it. And he passed it back to Joel Embiid, who had to dribble a few times and throw up a three-point, just shoot a three-point shot out of nowhere. So it's kind of like they really don't have everything it takes to win the championship, I don't think yet. You add a Kyle Lowry, that's another person who can score. He's crafty with the ball. He can move and, kind of play off the ball with Ben Simmons a little bit, kind of help out in that area. I like him there. And I think it would be a good look. Plus, he's, that's his hometown. So he wants to go home to end his career. Who wouldn't? And if he can bring a championship back to Philly, that'll be great. But I think he is the missing piece because he can do it on any given night. He can give you 25. And that's what they need. They need another person who can score because Ben scoring is dropped. You get consistency with Tobias, but once again, you need that extra person when Joel ain't necessarily on. If Tobias is kind of struggling a little bit, you need that extra bump, and that's the person to do it. But it depends on what you got to give up.
That's always.
Well, I'll tell you what one of the packages are. Danny Green, Mike Scott, and he said that Philly could add Terrence Ferguson and rookie Tyrese Maxey.
No,
not all them people.
That's too much. That's too much. All right, so a couple things. It is going back home. He won if I'm not mistaken, a national championship at Villanova. At his time there, did he? Didn't he win? I could have sworn.
I don't think so.
With Villanova?
Yeah. Or he competed. Obviously, Villanova, when they got some talent, they're always competing. But I like him in Philly. Again, depending on what you got to give up, I wouldn't give all that up for him because it allowed it. First of all, you're adding a player with championship experience. Number one, first and foremost. Number two, you're adding a guy like Shelton said can score 25 any night. But the nights that he doesn't score, the little things that don't show up in the box score, Kyle Lowry can do for that team. But I slightly disagree with Shelton because just watching, I watched like maybe 5 minutes of that Philly game back there. The Sixers have everything they need to win, and Daryl Morey knows that, which is why he says it's championship or bust. They are a Ben Simmons jumper away from winning it all. They have everything they need. They have the requisite size. They have the requisite skill positions outside of their big two. That the specialists that do what they're supposed to do, what they get paid in the NBA to do. And now they have a championship level head coach. They have everything. Ben Simmons needs to be a scorer. And I'm not saying that you need to be, KD. I'm not saying you need to be Kyrie. What I'm saying is that move that we saw when he cut to that basket. And that was super aggressive. He needs to take that aggression to jump shooting. You better guard me out here. If Ben averaged 22 a game, 23 a game with, let's say, making 4 jump shots, but taking about 10 jump shots a game. You take 10, but you only make it 4. That's a championship team. They don't technically need Kyle Lowry. But I do like Kyle Lowry there. I wouldn't give all that up, though, because now you're talking about giving up some of your advantages. Mike Scott is like 6'9", 6'10", maybe 6'11", that can shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Why would I give that up to get a smaller guy? No.
The only reason I would is because Mike Scott is not an integral part of the offense. But I wouldn't give up all that. Like, you giving up Maxey, you giving up future.
Yep.
If it's 4 players, if you give it up Mike Scott in another complimentary piece and maybe a draft pick, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Because Mike Scott is not that big of a difference maker. Not as big as Kyrie would be. I mean, Kyle Lowry would be.
You didn't let me go through all of the players.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. But no, you're good. No, of course I'm not saying, oh, Mike Scott, that's a deal breaker. Hell no. I'm not giving up 4 players for one guy. That's number one. Yeah. I'm willing to give up 2 plus a pick or 2 picks.
Well, he makes $30.5 million.
Who, Mike?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We had a super chat.
Oh, Kyle Lowry. Oh, so you gotta make the money work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a super chat just now for that, saying that from Connor Pearson Ward. Appreciate you, Connor. Lowry's making $30 million this year, so he would have to be traded for multiple players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you could definitely throw in a third team to take on salary to make it work. So it is possible. It is possible.
Yeah. I appreciate this super chat. Yeah, I want to look at Miami and the Clippers. Maybe we could do that Tuesday.
We can go through Miami.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Let's just finish there.
Okay, so the Clippers, Lou Will and Patrick Patterson are on expiring deals, and they could be foundation of the money. Then they said they don't have the young assets as attractive as Maxey, but they have Terrence Mann. So how would you guys like him in LA?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I like him in all 3 positions. I think I like him with the Clippers the most because he is what they're missing. Because Kyle Lowry isn't a point guard's point guard. He's really a combo guard that can do a little bit of either guard position any given night. And the way that the Clippers are constructed, number one, they need a steady hand and poise in those clutch moments and situations. Kyle Lowry gives them that. Also, they need a guy that can take some of the scoring pressure off as needed, not every night, but as needed when PG struggles in the playoffs again. They're going to need that. So I like him there out of all 3 of those teams because I think his impact will be felt the most. Like, Philly don't really need him. Like Ben Simmons is going to handle the rock and be the playmaker and do all of that. With the Clippers, they're going to give him the ball and be like, hey, bro, like, set us up. You know what I'm saying? Get your own shot, set us up, make sure that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to give him the show.
You said when Paul George struggles?
When he struggles. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
What about you, Shelton?
The same. I was gonna say I think I like the Clippers even better because of what he would bring to that team for similar reasons from what FIFO said. With the Sixers, they are what they are, and I think he would help for sure, but they might not even need that help to get out of the East at this point. So really, if you can get to the finals, any given day you can win it. So they may not need to give up everything, mortgage their future on getting him, because he won't necessarily add a championship, whereas they can get it without him. Whereas with the Clippers, to get past LA, the Lakers, you're gonna need some more firepower, I believe, because like FIFO said, I don't trust Paul George as far as I can throw him, and I just don't see them handling that tough Western Conference like they should without adding pieces, and that's the piece. And if you only have to give up Lou Will, which I would hate to see Lou Will go, but to give up Lou Will and Patrick Patterson, they can go right now for Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, when I look at that trade from the opposite end for Toronto, I ain't doing it because you're getting 2 guys that more than likely don't want to be there. They're either going to want to be bought out or they're not re-signing. So you're losing value. But again, if Toronto is being genuine in terms of saying we want to put Kyle
Mhm.
Lowry in position, it doesn't matter what we get back, then this is the move you make.
And do we necessarily trust what they say?
Hell no.
Because we saw what happened last time.
No, of course. No,
with
you
the
don't
whole
trust none of
DeRozan
that.
thing. So
You don't trust none of that.
you know,
You don't trust none of these execs.
not at all. So Kyle's agent came out and said that the rumors about him wanting to be in Philly are not true. But once again,
Yeah,
you believe what you want to believe.
So what are the trade pieces for the Miami deal?
It was. Oh, hold on. Where is it? Go back to this Rapster feed. Oh yeah, is that the agent actually said he's not getting traded to the Sixers now? Mm-hmm. All right, where is it? I know. Man, it was on CNBC.
Well, either way, regardless of whatever pieces they move, I think that this is my least favorite spot for Kyle Lowry. Only because he doesn't move the needle much. He's not that much better than Goran. At this point in his career, the main difference is championship experience, but even Goran has that now playing in the finals. Um, I just it don't move the needle. So in my opinion, Kyle Lowry and veterans like him, when you bring a guy like that on, that should be the missing piece to you winning. And with the Heat, that's not their missing piece. The Heat are just tired.
Yeah, I got you. So they're proposing Myers Leonard or Kelly Olynyk and Andre Iguodala. But the problem are the assets because they don't see them getting rid of Hero for Lowry.
No.
Maybe Duncan Robinson could be an option, or their rookie big man Precious Achua.
Nah, and the reason why I'm saying hell no, Duncan Robinson is like 6'8". He's a shooter with size. So you mean to tell me I'm gonna give up a 6'8" shooter to bring in a combo guard that's about 6'3", 6'4" to pair up to play with Goran and Tyler?
Mm-hmm.
No, it just basketball wise it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And then also potentially giving up Iguodala when you have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in the conference, when you got when you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, when you have perimeter guys with size, you're gonna give up Andre Iguodala? No.
Yeah.
No.
And they're already a small group. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to get smaller.
Yep. Nah. Miami. When you said I tried to hold back, but that don't make no sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for Miami at all. Like you said, they've already made it to the chip. He's not the missing piece.
He's not the missing piece. Now it may be on Kyle Lowry's end, like, hey, bro, this is where I want to retire. No state tax in Miami, South Beach. You know what I'm saying? From that personal perspective, if that's what Kyle Lowry want to do, I feel him. But in terms of the organization, the Miami Heat, and I'm Pat Riley, what the hell am I doing that for?
Miami on a bit of a run lately.
They are.
Yeah, it look like they're getting
like
their
I
legs
said,
together.
They're look, man. Miami and the Lakers with 70 days, and we saw how exhausted Jimmy Butler was in that damn bubble. And, he's battling through nagging injuries right now and stuff. Both of those squads right now today look like they're running in quicksand.
Yeah.
Now, Miami's starting to get their legs back, but they're an overall younger team.
And they had to deal with COVID, too, so that set them back.
Exactly. And they're a younger team, so they can bounce back a little bit quicker. Ken, you the oldest one out of everybody in Dead End.
Know.
So you don't bounce back like that, bro. And I'm starting to get up there. I don't bounce back like that. And LeBron's my age. So nah, man, like it's two different things. I think Miami will be fine. I think they'll finally get their legs up under them. They'll be able to get their running up and down and stuff like that. The Lakers, on the other hand, I think the longer AD is out, the longer they're going to struggle. But I think this is also another perfect reason why bringing Boogie in now. Here you go, Boogie. We need somebody down there getting these buckets anyway. Go and eat. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll be able to ingratiate them, and then you bring AD back and all of that type stuff. But yeah, man, Miami, hell no. For Kyle Lowry, hell no. It don't make no sense.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for all of the super chats. Thank you guys for showing up tonight once again to the show. The last thing, and it's not even a thing really. I just want to ask a question. Did you guys see that dunk, Anthony Edwards? Anthony Edwards, right?
Couple nights ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
trying to
It
tell
was something
folks,
special.
bro. And he's been putting up some numbers.
he's the alpha on that team. D'Angelo
Man.
Russell is not. Cat is not. He is their future. You,
And they don't. He's not talked about a lot.
he's not.
I know he's in Minnesota, but
He's not.
Man,
I'm gonna say something.
here we go.
Hey, you know how it does.
This is how we're gonna end the show, y'all.
They got to trade Cat.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
They got to trade Cat. They got to.
I agree.
They got to trade Cat, man.
Let's blow that thing up because they're not gonna win like they are constructed.
Mm.
That's just not gonna happen.
Cat, man. I think the most disappointing thing about Cat, in my opinion, is his mentality. His mentality is just not that of a superstar. And I think Jimmy exposed it, and now he's getting exposed because of it.
Yeah.
So to me, if I'm the owner, the GM, because here's the thing. Right now, there's a plethora. First of all, Cat signed a maximum deal. So that means that you could get back one player or two players, or you could get back about 3, 4, 5 players, right? Plus picks and all of that type of stuff. In my opinion, you get rid of Cat right now because you can get a boatload for him.
This is true.
And then I'll be looking to trade D'Angelo Russell as well.
Oh yes,
and I'm starting around my guy Anthony Edwards. Who's the other perimeter guy that they drafted the year before with Trae Young?
Over.
Yeah, Jared Culver. I'm going with those two guys. And even though I don't like Jared Culver like that, he does have a good foundation. Here go this motherfucking disrespectful last month. Of course he gonna pop in the last 2 minutes of the damn. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm glad he popped in because I got still one more question we need to ask so we can beat this before it comes out.
Now go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
Russell Wilson, his camp has broached trade destinations with the Seahawks. A, is he gonna get traded? B, where y'all think he might go?
I don't think the Seahawks trade him. I because it's not like Houston, right? Like the house isn't crumbling down. Now the foundation may not be as sturdy as it once was, but the roof ain't caving in. In Houston, that shit a dumpster fire. So it's a wrap. Deshaun done played his last snap for the Texans, regardless of whatever the hell they say. So Deshaun is gone. I can see Russell playing one more year, and depending on what this year looks like, then he's gone. But I don't know if he's gone just yet.
No,
but they're saying that
the most interesting part about what I saw today was Richard Sherman's response on Twitter to another player that played for the Seahawks. So yeah,
What'd he say?
He didn't say anything. They just used like memes and gifs. So I have to show it to you. But I thought it was funny. There's something going on there that we don't know about yet.
What about you, Shelton? Do you feel that they gonna move on from young Russ?
I don't think that they should, but if his camp is pushing for it, they may have to. They're saying the Dolphins, Jets, Saints, and Raiders have been mentioned. So out of that group, if he goes to the Dolphins, I think that'll be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think for either Deshaun or Russell Wilson, I think that for both sides, it makes the most sense because the Dolphins have 2 top 15 picks in this draft plus a quarterback to give you for your quarterback. So to me, regardless of the situation in Houston or Seattle, that makes the most sense for them because they're getting the replacement plus young talent right now today. And for the Dolphins, if we're just giving up Tua and the 2 picks that we don't know what type of talent they're going to be, and we still got the rest of this roster, and we're adding MVP caliber quarterback, run it. You want a first round pick for next year too? I'll give it to you. I'll give you 2 this year and next year because you technically really don't need it. In terms of the Jets, the only reason why I can see a quarterback wanting to go to the Jets right now is because you will be the sole reason why they win. And you get all the credit if you win in that situation. You said the Raiders and the Saints?
Yeah, Raiders, Saints.
Saints, they can't make that happen with the cap. The cap penalties and the cap because
the Saints got Jameis.
And they have Jameis. And the Saints right now are against the cap. I don't see any move like that happening with the Saints. The Raiders are very interesting because they have a boatload of talent. So you could get Russell Wilson now. Hey, now that's a problem. But I think the Dolphins are definitely going to be in play for the two best quarterbacks that are in this trade market right now: Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson.
Sean will be in Carolina, so we're not even going.
Now that is one of his teams he wants to go to because of his college days and all that. So it's a possibility, but
All right.
Nick, what you think, Nick?
Russ ain't going nowhere.
Nick? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Russ ain't going nowhere. He gonna be in Seattle. He just bitching right now. He gonna be. They gonna do what they got to do to get some offensive lineman help, probably before the season start, or they gonna give him a little bit more money up front, probably before the season start. And like FIFO said, they're gonna talk about all this next year. I think right now they just trying to calm him down because somebody's been in his ear. That's all I know. He must have somebody new in his camp because for him to say the number of times that he's known that he's gotten sacked, like was it 400 and something? Somebody gave him that stat. That's not something that he calculated because he got knocked around too much. I'll be surprised if he can count that high. But nah, Russ is gonna be in Seattle for this year.
You know what, Nick? I don't think nobody needed to tell him that. I think his body is telling him that because people don't get younger, bro. Nobody out here in the world is called Benjamin Button. Like we all get older, and young Russ was able to evade and even take some of those big hits and bounce back and be all right. That shit start adding up, bro. That start adding up.
Ask Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah, I want to actually watch that interview that they posted.
Please watch it. It's good. It's a good one.
Yeah. I got to the part where he was talking about COVID, so I want to hear that story. Anyway, all right, well, guys, we got to get out of here. We got another review to do real quick. I'm running on fumes, but but yeah, we thank you guys for coming in, man, and we'll catch you guys Tuesday. We out. Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Peace. Hey Nick, man, when you come on, man, that picture, your profile picture look like Christian Mingle,
I hate that. That's my work picture, and I hate that it's scrubbed in there because I can't switch over to my nigga picture because then when I'm in meetings, the nigga picture show up. So it's like I gotta just take the L with y'all.